So real quick, I wanted to make a video here as far as Smackdown, because Smackdown, ever since the beginning of the year, ever since the beginning of 2025, Smackdown has been 3 hours. And you guys have heard really what I've said about the 3 hour Smackdown format. I don't really think that any wrestling show should really be 3 hours on a weekly basis, because at that point you kind of run the risk of burning your entire audience out, because 3 hours of anything is still 3 hours, you know what I mean? So like it's definitely a tough watch at certain points. Obviously there's weeks where it's a little better, it's a little bit manageable, but for me the sweet spot really is 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, pushing it, kind of like how Raw does it with 2.5 hours. I feel like that's an okay spot to have your wrestling show on. But this was always a possibility that Smackdown, their 3 hour sort of run, would be extended, and that's what we got here today, because apparently the USA Network executives, they're all for the 3 hour format. Obviously for them, and really when you break it down to WWE, everything nowadays is all about money. Have you ever noticed that? Everything now is all about money. TKO, power hungry, obviously they want to make the most amount of money possible. So is USA Network, because USA Network, ever since they lost Monday Night Raw to Netflix, they obviously want to cater more to the wrestling fans, because wrestling on their network is really what gets them the views and the hits and the sort of ad revenue and whatnot. Because for them, wrestling on their network is very lucrative. It's a very lucrative sort of endeavor for them, and if for them, more is better for them, because they can more money, make more ad revenue, whatever the case may be. So when you really break it down, this all just comes down to money, which is really it's really saying something, because the fans, especially for me, I don't know how anybody else feels, but I will tell you my sort of stance on the matter is the fact that 3 hours is very tough to watch, and especially with the SmackDown roster, because that SmackDown roster, sometimes it feels really thin as far as like the main event players. And when you don't have certain main event players there, like a Cody or a Cena or a McIntyre or a Roman, it really does feel somewhat kind of watered down. And I feel like 2 hours for me, like I said, it's really the sweet spot. But let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts and your reactions to SmackDown remaining 3 hours. There was a rumor that SmackDown might switch over to 2 hours in September, but honestly, the way things are going, I really don't believe that. So let me know what you guys think down below. Let me know your thoughts and your reactions to everything. And until next time, I will see you on the next one.